To the ordinary man in the street, a thought is an airy nothing, a mere flash in the consciousness. It comes, it goes, and there is an end to it. To the student of the mind, however, thought is known to be the power that is greater than any other power, a force that controls all other forces. Thought is the origin of the visible universe. All that we see around us is the result of thought. We may even go further and say that all invisible forces which keep the wonderful machinery of the universe working perfectly and smoothly are simply the thought energies of the same universal mind. In our world, our circumstances, our life, our bodies, we stand supreme, or rather we have within us the power which properly directed can make us supreme. This power is thought. Thought is so subtle, so elusive, that it has by the majority of men been considered impossible of control. But the greatest philosophers, seers, and leaders in the world's history have known differently. All that they achieved, they accomplished through the power of thought. And this was possible because they learned the art of thought control. The science of the mind is now being spread abroad, and it is a scientific possibility for anyone to learn how to control their thoughts. A man is a small, individualized part of the universal mind, alike in essence, but infinitely less in degree. Just as the universal mind finds expression through all the universe, so does man, when awake to his own interior powers, express himself by the power of his thought, through his body, his work, his circumstances, and his life. In himself, he is the epitome of the universe. Outside of the miniature universe, he has no jurisdiction. Man has the power to do what he likes with his own life, but he has no right to dominate other people or to interfere with their lives. The powers of the mind are all like electricity. If used according to certain laws, it produces beneficial results. If used in opposition to these laws, it has the capacity to destroy. So it is, with the power of the mind, used properly, that leads to success, happiness, and all accomplishment. The law which keeps the universe running so smoothly is the law of attraction. It is this law that brought it together. It is this law that keeps it from falling apart. All the universe, in all its planes, is ruled by this law. In the spiritual world, it is called the law of love. In the mental world, the law of attraction. In the material world, it is known as the law of affinity. They all mean the same. In essence, they are the same. Just as the electrons are called together in the invisible ether to form an atom, so in turn are atoms brought together and by vibrating at different rates of speed create what we call form. This is matter, so called, built up into all the beautiful forms we see, simply by the law of attraction. It is this law that holds all matter together. If it failed, rocks would fly apart and all things would disintegrate, because the power that attracted one atom to another would have ceased to operate. It is the same in the mental world. Everything works according to this same law. It is because like creates like, and like attracts like, that it is possible to revolutionize our lives by the power of thought. Thoughts, said Prentice Mulford, are things. Thoughts, says T. Sharper Knowlson, so far from being mere brain flashes, are judging, solely from their effects, real entities, apparently composed of spiritual substance, the nature of which is outside the range of discovery of our present faculties. Thought is not, says Ralph Waldo Trine, as is many times supposed, a mere indefinite abstraction or something of a like nature. It is, on the contrary, a vital, living force, the most vital, subtle, and irresistible force in the universe. Through the instrument of our thought forces, we have the creative power in reality. It is a great mistake to imagine that because you can see a thing with your physical eyes, feel it with your hands, or hit it with a hammer, that it is for that reason more real than something you cannot see or feel. On the contrary, The unseen is vastly more powerful, lasting, and forceful than anything you can see with your physical eyes. What you see with your eyes is only the effect of greater causes which are invisible. Everything exists in the unseen before it is manifested in the seen. In this sense, it is true that the unseen things are real, while the things that are seen are the unreal. The unseen things are cause, the seen things are effect. The unseen things are eternal, the seen things are the changing, the transient. Thoughts then are entities, are things, are forces, are vital subtle powers. They, like everything else and every other force in the universe, are subject to law. This law is the law of attraction. Whatever thoughts you think will attract to you thoughts of a similar nature. Accordingly, as you create good or bad thoughts, you determine whether your life will be blessed or ill-fated. If you think a good thought and dwell upon it, and as it were, nourish it with your meditations, it will not only bless and enrich your life, but will attract hosts of other thoughts of equal power and beauty which will come to assist you. If you think success thoughts and affirm them and cling to them in the face of apparent defeat and failure, you will attract to yourself such a wave of powerful, upbuilding, and inspiring thoughts that you'll be lifted right over your difficulty and carried as by invisible forces along the path of accomplishment. On the other hand, it is equally true that if you think a weak thought, a low thought, or a thought of failure, there will be attracted to you a host of thoughts of like character which by their nature will haunt you and drag you down. Unto him that hath shall be given, and from him that hath not shall be taken away that which he hath. It is simply the working of the law of attraction. Think success, and thousands of invisible forces will fly to your aid. Think failure, and innumerable forces will help to make your failure even more complete. If thought is the greatest power of all powers, the most vital, subtle, and irresistible force in the universe, and if your thoughts have the power to attract other thoughts of a like character, then the choice of your thoughts is the most important act of your life. By choosing your thoughts, you choose either success or failure, happiness or misery, health or disease, hope or despair. The things that we see are but a very small fraction of the things that are real. The real, vital forces at work in our own lives and in the world about us are not seen by the ordinary physical eye, yet they are the cause of which all things we see are merely the effects. Thoughts are forces, like builds like, and like attracts like. For one to govern his thinking, then is to determine his life. By the right use of your thought forces, you can make yourself a magnet and attract to yourself all that you deserve. We each get what we deserve. As we improve the quality of our thoughts, we become deserving of better results. As we become deserving of better results, better things flow to us by the operation of universal law. By the use of carefully graded denials and affirmations, we break the power of negative thought habit and in its place create a new mental attitude, hopeful, strong, cheerful, successful, confident, an attitude of mind that knows no failure, can never be discouraged, that stands firm and unafraid amid the changing scenes of life, an attitude of mind that overcomes, conquers, and achieves, an attitude of mind that lives in a sea of positive, helpful, stimulating thoughts that are the products of the best minds of all ages. It all comes down to this. It is by the use of denials and affirmations, and by persevering in their use, that the life can be changed, circumstances altered, and ambitions realized. By denials and affirmations, we can concentrate our consciousness on thoughts of power, success, and courage, and these in turn will attract to us multitudes of other thoughts of a similar nature. Do you realize the extent of the wonderful power that you hold in your hands? Make denials and affirmations to suit your particular needs. Whatever you desire to do, Affirm that you can do it, and that you will do it when the time for doing it comes. Whatever disagreeable or difficult duty lies before you, deny failure and affirm beforehand that you can and will do it, that already in your mental world it is accomplished. Then visualize yourself doing the thing calmly and without effort. Mentally see yourself dealing with a difficult or unpleasant matter with calm dignity and ease. When the time for action arrives, you will succeed. Through meditation, we have the ability to concentrate the whole of our attention and harness the supreme power of our thoughts. If you find your thoughts wandering through lack of concentrative power, make use of the following affirmation. I raise myself into the perfect mental world and breathe the pure air of perfect mental freedom. My wandering mind cannot affect me. I am a perfect mind, part of the great universal mind that is everywhere and works in and through everything. Therefore, my mental powers are perfect. It was a mistake that made me think I could not concentrate. It was simply a delusion of the physical senses. Now I know this is not true because I am a perfect mind gifted with godlike powers. Now I know that I concentrate on any subject I please. My potential powers are infinite. I only have to develop them. I only have to try, and I will succeed. Using this affirmation often will develop the tremendous powers of concentration that create and manifest desires. Try the following exercise to strengthen your mind's ability to concentrate and focus. Take 6 small articles and examine them very carefully, one at a time. For instance, if one article is a pencil, look at it and see how it differs from the other pencils. Notice its color, its shape, its point, well sharpened or otherwise, the maker's name and trademark, the name of the pencil itself, its condition, scratches on the surface of the polish. All these and any other points should be minutely noticed. Examine each article in turn and just as minutely. When you have examined them all, shut your eyes and visualize each article and see every point and detail in your mind's eye just as you did with your physical sight. Change the article for new ones from day to day. If you lack knowledge of a certain subject and desire to gain this knowledge, then tell your subliminal mind what it is that you require. It will then either directly supply direct knowledge that you need, or bring to your notice the very book or course of lessons that you require. Also, in solving your problems, your subliminal mind may bring a sentence to your attention which tells you that it is the answer to your riddle. The more you can quiet the senses and the objective mind and rely upon your subliminal mind, the greater will be your wisdom and understanding.